What's up, everyone? How are you? Um, I I'm a little bit disillusioned because I just drove by a park that I literally forgot existed, and I would go to this park a lot when I was younger. And then when I was 17, my boyfriend at the time took me to this park. And I'm just shook because I literally sat in the premises of this park and I like looked at it for like 15 minutes and I was just thinking about how crazy it is that I am where I am now. I never thought I would be this person. I never thought I would be here. And like when I last went to this park, I was 17. My boyfriend at the time picked me up. It was so late. It was like midnight. We went and got McDonald's pancakes at midnight. I remember, I don't know how we got pancakes at midnight, but we did. And then we went on a trip after that. And I remember sitting in that park. I'm sorry, like, I'm just like amazed. By the way, I shaved. Finally, because I got injured, so I wasn't gonna shave. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm like floored. Like, I just wanted to film a video and like discuss my findings because at the time that I last was at that location, I was 17 years old. That was so many years ago. Like, that's crazy to me. I can't wrap my head around that. I'm getting dizzy. I also haven't eaten, so I need to eat. I do this thing where I don't eat all day. I just do not eat all day. And then I eat like at night, which is like not the best, obviously. But we were eating pancakes in the dark outside in this park. Like, I'm remembering it and it's just crazy to me because that was my junior year of high school. And now I'm just a different person. It's like two different people. Like, I'm just amazed. And then of course I used to go to that park when I was younger as well, and I would just like do backflips and stuff. I was really into gymnastics when I was younger. And we would go, my family and I, when I was like very young. But no, the last time I completely forgot this park existed. And I'm just thinking, so let me verbalize what I'm thinking, because I'm like going through it. I'm like disillusioned. Like, I'm kind of really having a moment, you know. I never thought, first of all, that I would be able to like go through with my YouTube channel. I never thought I would be able to like sit and talk about my thoughts. To me, that was like such a foreign concept because I didn't know how to present myself as at 17. I still don't know how to present myself sometimes, but I'm just being authentic. You know, like, it's not like I have to really try to. I just didn't know how to express myself when I was younger because I didn't know who I was when I was younger. Obviously, I'm much older now, and I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in my life, which is insane to me. Every single thing I wanted to do, I did it. Like, big or small, whether it's like getting over somebody, getting over another person, and another person, and another person, getting over friends and friendship heartbreak, like getting over my insecurities, my physical insecurities, which, like, you know, I've just embraced at this point. It's not really that I'm fully ever satisfied with my physical appearance. It's just that I've embraced my flaws, you know, and I've learned to be okay with them, essentially. And I accomplished everything I wanted to in terms of my education. I accomplished everything I wanted to in terms of like business stuff and business dealings, in terms of my expression stuff, like my YouTube channel. Like, I grew so much. Oh my God. Oh no, I'm not gonna freak out. It's just that I grew so much. Like, and I recently reconnected with the friends I had at the time, which is such a trip too, because it's like I'm not that same person, but like the friendship is is the same. It's still there. So how does that work? You know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I don't know. I'm just such a different person. I'm not the same person, and it's like I'm 20 years older, even though it's just been a few years. It's like I'm 20 years older. Even habitual stuff. Like, I never thought, you know what I never thought? I never thought I would get over my depression and turn it into something like beautiful and inspiring and helpful for myself and other people. But I did. And I created a literal coaching like ecosystem from it, with like various programs within that. Like, that's crazy. Who does that? Like, I have been so protected and led by God, but I didn't even know it. That's the thing. I didn't know it. I never knew it. I actually did not know it until I went to college. That's when I woke up to the fact that I was being like led. And that's when I woke up to God, essentially. But you know, I had some real fun at 17, 18, 19, even 20, even 21. But after 21 is when I got pretty serious. You know what I mean? But up until 21, I was having a lot of like fun that I think was like important for that age. I was partying a ton. I really partied a lot. And it was good for me, I think, because it was like escapism. And it was just a lot of like Mars energy, which I have a lot of Mars energy, a lot of Martian energy, a lot of like fiery energy. So I need to always be moving, you know. So if you are with me for more than like 24 hours, like you'll see that I'm always like running or dancing. Or when I don't, though, like there are days that I do chill out, but then I'll have to be doing something. So I'll have to be like cleaning up, you know, or buying things that I need. Like, I'm always like kind of progressive in that way. And then also when it comes to like, you know, mental work and stuff, I channel that energy that I have inward. So that's why meditation is actually really important for me. When I don't meditate, I get too involved in like my passions and the passion side of life, which is fine. But that calm, compassionate side of mine dwindles when I don't meditate. But I was partying a lot during those times, and like when I was 17 onwards. And I was very depressed. No one knew because I hid it so well. Even now, no one really knows what I've been through in my life because I don't look like it, because I've been very successful. Like, I've been very personally successful. And the real success is self-knowledge, right? Self-awareness, awareness of like who you are, essentially. But there's been a lot of inner and outer work that has accumulated up to lead up to that success, right? But because I've been so successful, people look at me, or like even I can look at myself from an outer perspective and think this girl has it all, or this girl's lucky, or this girl, you know, etc., etc. And the thing about that is that it's a syndrome. Like, if you're a person that thinks that you have it all and that you're lucky, you will have it all and you will be lucky. So I've kind of been practicing that subconsciously. That is my success. You see what I'm saying? And I've been practicing that subconsciously forever. Like, in my life, I've had really horrible stuff as well happen. But I took the bounce. And I didn't let it no, I did. Sometimes I would let it kill me a little bit, but I always changed. Like, I let myself change through it. You know, I let myself be altered by my experience. And I think that's important. When you go through hard stuff in your life, you want to let yourself be altered by your experiences so that you can flow with the rhythm of where life is moving you. So you can be led by God. You see what I'm saying? If you just kind of like get run over by your hard shit that you go through, you're gonna stay roadkill. Like, you're gonna stay in one place and you're gonna stay roadkill. But if you allow yourself to get run over and then to feel the pain, like the bone crushing pain of your experiences, you know, and to really hit rock bottom, then you'll see what death is in a way. And you'll see that you'll die. Like, you'll die. A version of your, like, you as a human being, your personality, your id, your ego will die. So that version of you will be no more. You will be reborn. And that process of rebirth, for me, has taken like years. Like, it's been constant, actually. But there have been multiple deaths, like ego deaths that I've had, like personal deaths. Not ego death in the sense that, you know, you try to have an ego death, or you induce it via like psychoactive, like, that's not what I'm talking about. Don't misconstrue the term. I'm discussing ego death in the sense of becoming roadkill from your experiences, okay? And really allowing yourself to hit rock bottom really hard, and to then carefully craft your personality as you grow from your experience. So you become lighter, like your soul becomes lighter when you get back up from the road. You see what I'm saying? So why? Because you've shed a lot. There's a lot of like gore and human remains, let's say, like on the ground. And so now you're lighter. That's literally what has happened with me multiple times. I have been roadkill. And that happens with people, everybody. That happens with everybody. And it will happen for you too in your life. You will become roadkill at a certain point, and you'll have to understand that it's not the end, and that it's okay to die. It's okay for you to change because you're going through something hard. It's okay. And when the process is finished, you will be a much brighter, lighter version of yourself, and you will have an easier life because of what you've been through. Why? Because you can just take the bounce now. Like, it is really true, when you go through tough shit, you do become stronger because you're forced to. You see what I'm saying? It's not because like, oh yeah, you know, the pain makes me stronger and like I will, you know, endure or whatever. No, the pain makes you stronger because there's no choice. There's no choice. And it's not that the pain makes you stronger. You die first. You have to die. You have to hit rock bottom first. And then in the coming alive again, then you become stronger. You see what I'm saying? It's like bouncing a ball. Like, first you throw it on the ground so it hits the ground, right? Then it bounces back up. So are you becoming stronger when you're falling on the ground? No, you are becoming weaker, and you can feel it. So you're going to reach a point where that plateaus. You see what I'm saying? This is how the market works too. If you study like bar charts and stuff, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there comes a point where the value plateaus, or your experience will plateau. And once it does, you'll know that that you've hit rock bottom. Like, once it gets really, really, really bad, like to the point where it's just unbearable, good. Like, that's good. It's good. Because you are being shaped, you are being molded. People have to understand, no one promised you an easy life. This place is for growth. You understand? Look at how the seasons change. Look at how birds die. Look at how animals in nature pass away easily and quickly. Nothing here is permanent. Human beings, like, we don't have that long of lives. So don't waste it comparing yourself to other people, wishing you were prettier, stop wishing and go do something about it. Go do something about it, whatever it is. Because you can do it. You can do anything that you want, and you can have anything that you want. It's just that maybe it will require you hitting rock bottom first. Are you okay with that? See, people want stuff and then they don't do what it takes to get it. So you don't want it bad enough. Because if you wanted it that badly, you would already have it. Like, there's no question of wanting. What is wanting? It's easy to want shit and, like, to stay sedentary, you know? So that's my little bit of motivation for today. Like, I posted this the other day somewhere on some platform, I forgot, but I said that there's no such thing as motivation, because there's no such thing. What is a lion's motivation? To hunt? Hunger, right? So it's not motivation, it's survival. So this concept of motivation that human beings think is so important, it's just inspiration. And inspiration happens after you take action, not before. That's why, you don't get motivated to have a kid. You have the kid. Like, this is just a prime example. You have the kid, and then, of course, you're motivated to take care of the kid. Because it's primal. So, in the same way, you take action in your life, and then the motivation happens afterward. Don't ever rely on motivation to get anything done. It's a fleeting emotion. And that's another thing about the human experience, is that your emotions are your guidance systems. They're here to serve you, not the other way around. You should not be serving your emotions. That's called what? What is that called? That's called being a slave to your emotion. That's called having addictions. That's called being weak. Being a weak woman or a weak man or whatever you identify with, being a weak human being. And to be weak means that you don't have control over your mind. You don't have control over the thoughts that you think of yourself or other people. And it's unnecessary, It's unnecessary. Human beings are very powerful in their mind. So when they allow their mind to control them, they are not valuing their mental power. They are wasting it. And they are letting it hurt them instead of letting it serve them. So do not be a slave to your desires or your emotions or your instant gratifications and impulses. Do not be a slave to hunger or thirst. Become a yogi. Like, this is what the human life is meant for. You understand? It's meant for spiritual evolution. I'm so hell-bent on this because, I've been through a lot. And I've learned these things. And I've learned that the mind of a weak man will be a mind that self-destructs. And no human being can be truly free unless they take control over their mind. And people want happiness. Everybody wants happiness. You're not promised happiness. Happiness is something that you create because you yourself are pure potentiality. You yourself are a child of the divine. So unless you wake up and realize that you're a child of the divine, how will you ever attain happiness? How will you ever attain peace, which is the basic foundational grassroots for happiness? It just doesn't happen. So become a yogi. It is important for every single person to attempt to study the yogic path. It is important. It is important. So you're not unhappy and suicidal, and so people don't kill themselves. You know what I mean? You can have all the money in the world and be really suicidal and out yourself. And people do all the time, every day. That's such a disgrace to human life. To rid yourself willingly of human life, it's a conscious decision to commit suicide. It's a conscious decision. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get really heavy and I'm going to get into it because I want to talk about this. Because I myself have been through that stage of being suicidal in my life before. So I'm going to get into it. If you're triggered by this topic, click off this video. You're not meant to hear this then. It is the greatest disgrace to your creator, to yourself, capital S, the soul within you, the creator within you, the God within you, to life itself, to out yourself. Like, it's the greatest disgrace, right? And so people who commit suicide, they don't know what they're doing because they don't even know who they are. If they knew who they were, they would not out themselves because they would understand that they are the power itself. They are the power. They don't have the power. They don't possess the power. They are the power of all of creation. So when you out yourself, I'll tell you what happens. You have to take another birth. I'm serious. If people don't believe in reincarnation at this point, I don't know why they don't. They haven't done enough studying, enough self-studying. Reincarnation is the basis and premise for all life ever. Look at the cycles in nature that occur. You don't think reincarnation is what is happening after you pass out of here? Of course you're going somewhere else. Of course you are always alive. You're just taking a different form, a different body. It's like I mentioned, I died many times. So do I have a different body now? Yes, I do. I have a different soul as well. I have a more light soul. I'm just different because I've been through a lot in my life. And so in a way I have reincarnated, not maybe fully flesh, blood, and bone, but almost, you know what I mean? And the flesh, blood, and bone will happen for me, and it will happen for you as well. And we will take another body after we discard this flesh suit. And the body that we take depends on our consciousness, our level of consciousness, because that is directive. That directs where we end up next. So how? Well, depending on where your focus is for most of your life, which will be practice for death, right? Because the consciousness that you carry at the time of death will transport you to your to the congruent location of your next destination. It'll transport you to the matching body, so to speak, right? Depending on where your consciousness lies. So Seema, what does that mean? Well, it explains all of this in the Gita. There are 3 modes of human nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. It's very simple. So what is the mode of goodness? The mode of goodness is somebody who practices clean thoughts, clean speech to other people, clean eating. They eat food that are good for the heart, like healthy fats and whatnot. And they keep their karma very PC. They keep it very clean. Now that's the mode of goodness. The mode of passion is kind of what I was talking about earlier, in which you take this human life by storm and you just kind of, you exist within that mode. In terms of food, it's tamasic, right? So if I'm correct, tamasic, rajasic, and, right? Tamas, rajas, gunas. Yeah. Goodness, passion, ignorance. I'm correct, right? Tamas is goodness, rajas is passion, yeah. Gunas. I'm annoyed that I'm not able to solidify this statement. Let me do my due diligence and look this up really quickly. I believe goodness is actually the mode of goodness, but let me just do a quick search for you guys. The 3 gunas or qualities of nature: sattva, rajas, tamas. Yeah. Sattva. Sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. How did I miss that? How did I not actually hit that on the nail? Okay. Specific characteristics. Sattva is associated with purity. Rajas is associated with activity, so passion. And then tamas is darkness or destruction, illusion, delusion. This is what happens when you get really drunk. This is what happens when you consistently eat a lot of meat, which is just dead flesh. It's death. You're eating death when you eat meat. Which, like, there's nothing against anything. I'm just speaking factually, you know what I mean? And because it's decayed, you see. It's flesh that has been decayed. Because you don't slaughter an animal then immediately consume, right? And by the way, for a lot of these animals, like, people don't know that when they eat meat, I have nothing against eating meat. I have absolutely nothing against eating meat. I'm just here for the purpose of educating you a little bit on what I've learned. That's it. So when you eat meat, you ingest the emotion that the animal felt at the time of death. So usually it's what? Usually it's fear, anger, injustice, right? upset, disturbance. Like, imagine that. Imagine being slaughtered. Imagine being slaughtered for food. Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? That's psychotic. It's psychotic, right? So, what kind of, I mean, I can't even imagine that. Like, the amount of fear that you would feel is like unexplainable, you know? So, and people think that eating meat is an indirect, like it's an indirect thing, you know, like the animal's already dead, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but you put it into the vessel that your soul is being housed within, right? So what do you think that does to your soul? You know, like, let's say you as a human being, your physical house was being, bathed in blood. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you'll be affected as a human being. It's the same kind of thing, but it's a little bit more direct because your soul is actually housed within your body, and it is transforming all of the time, depending on what you consume here, what you consume here, and via the skin, which is like the largest organ in the body. So you have 6 senses, the Gita says. People think that we have 5 senses. We don't have 5 senses. We have 6. What is the 6th sense? The 6th sense is the mind. It's a sense because you can control it, right? Just like you can control the tongue, you can control the what you smell, what you taste, what you say, right? The tongue is governing 2 things: speech and consumption. So the tongue is dual, right, in its ability to sense and to perceive information. So yeah, the 6th sense is the mind, because you can control the mind just like you can control all of your other senses, especially if you are on the path of spiritual evolution, or just being a human being, you know, on the path of yoga, essentially. We're all on a spiritual path, essentially. So right, so, you know, these are the 3 modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance, and you can choose where you want to sit. And then at the time of death, wherever your consciousness is calibrated to, which will be a result of all of the time that you've spent in this current incarnation, at the time of death, you'll be calibrated accordingly, and you will take a body that is suitable for where your consciousness is sitting. So being a human being is the greatest boon and blessing that we could have ever kind of incurred, because we're not under the laws of karma the way animals are. Animals have no choice. They cannot self-actualize. They cannot self-realize. They cannot connect to their creator. They cannot understand God. Can we understand God? We should spend our whole life trying to. That is the goal of human life. That is what self-realization is. And people who don't attempt to connect with their creator are massively unhappy because they are disconnected from themselves, right? And so what do? They hate on other people. They act in ways that are just really not beneficial for themselves or for other people. They kill bugs. What are you doing killing a bug that's done literally nothing to you? Like, what the hell is that? I don't understand that. I just will never comprehend that. It's so wrong. Like, it's so wrong. You know? Like, on a scale of life and death, it's wrong. You have 0 authority to do so. Did you create that life? If you can recreate life, then you have the authority to kill it. But you can't. You can't. So in actuality, no one has a propensity to judge, to kill. Like, these are all things that our creator has the power to do and we don't. And yet, even judgment. Because how can you judge another person or situation fully when you have not created that person or situation? You're just simply experiencing it. And maybe it's meant to teach you something. No, actually it is meant to teach you something, because everything in your life is meant to teach you, because you are here as a student of life. So we have to be careful and we have to be cognizant of what we're doing. Like, have fun, enjoy your life, whatever, and understand the laws of the universe, because then you can really have fun. You can have mad amounts of fun. Like, the type of fun I was having when I was 17 and I was partying and everything is nothing compared to the fun I'm having now. Because right now I'm having fun that is mind-blowing. It's expansive. It's progressive. It's evolutionary for myself and for other people. I'm creating things for myself and for the people around me. And that's mad fun. My life has been very rich in its experiences, and I can only see that now after years of self-realization and lots of inner work and inner recognition and just understanding myself. But when I was 17 and partying, I did not think my life was rich at all. I thought my life was hell, and I was very depressed. And so because I thought my life was hell, it was hell. You see? As a man thinketh, so he is, about anything and everything. So if you have anything that you would like to take away from this lecture or vlog today, my guy, it would be that your greatest power lies in your ability to understand yourself, number one, but also number two, it's your greatest fun. It's so fun. Like, that's how you can really party and enjoy your life, you know? And now when I do party or whatever, I do it in different ways, and I do it in ways that are more suitable for me, and I do it in ways that are measured and just really, really fulfilling, you know? They involve a lot of regeneration. My excursions, let's say, you know? So, in conclusion, I have grown a lot. You have probably grown a lot too in your life. Just look for places and areas in which you have grown and congratulate yourself and be very happy about that. Know that you are loved by all of creation. You are being led, even if you don't think you are. And the moment that you wake up to that fact that you are being led, your whole life will change, because you will see yourself and you will see your life with clear eyes, with a clear perspective that, oh, okay, this is what's really been going on. This person is in my life for this reason. And you can do that for everybody in your life, and you can analyze, you know, and maybe you can even do a little bit of meditating, let's say, on yourself and your current circumstances to calibrate yourself to see where you want to go next. Because one thing that I've learned is that we cannot change the cards that we've been dealt, but we can choose what we do with them. We can choose where we go from here. You can always choose where you're going to go. And it lies within your mind, within your imagination, your creativity, not your race mind. Not your monkey mind that reiterates problems from yesterday that really don't exist, because every day you're born anew. As the Buddha says, every day you are reborn. Do not take problems from yesterday. No 2 days happen twice. You see, like, no day repeats itself. Every day is different. So your view, your vision, your outlook on life should be different every day. It should be more progressive and more exciting, and more anticipating of newer and better and brighter experiences. So, with that being said, I love you very much. Thank you so much for watching. You the bestest. Thank you for listening to me as well. I hope this brought you some value, and I hope you are leaving better than you came. I love you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also follow my social medias. I will have them all in the description, and if I don't, I will, because I said that I will. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.